There is no virtue in being a powerful person who shows cruelty and meanness to others. And the only time that you desire to show kindness is when you personally get some kind of benefit from your actions. Hi, my name is James, and this is my take on reality. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Angela from 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, and how her act of going over to Nigeria was not the earmark of somebody who is in love or trying to show love, but rather somebody who is a weak person trying to exert their power so that they can do cruel things to the person that they supposedly love. Let's get it. Let's talk about the idea that Angela got on a plane, flew over to Nigeria, went to a part of the country where, if you listen to what she said when she pulled up, she told the taxi cab driver, hey, yeah, his house is the big house with the big walls and a metal gate. The fact that the man lives in a part of town or a part of the world where he has to have a big wall and a heavy metal gate to protect the people inside the home at night, that is a strong indicator that you going there is not a good idea. Although you may go there when you're in the company of somebody who lives there and it stays there and you're safe when you're with that person, you have to understand that that is not a safe place because you've been there before. Angela is not safe there. She was safe relatively. She was safe when she went there with Michael. But going there by yourself is foolish. The person that you have in tow, your friend Renee, she's a crazy person. The very idea that Angela may come up with the fool-ass idea to go over to this man's house and act a fool, okay, I can see that. Your heart's wound up, you're emotional. Maybe you'll make mistakes and lapse in judgment. But the whole purpose in having a friend there is somebody who's going to calm you down and say, yo, this is not a good idea. Let's go to the hotel bar, have a couple drinks, come back up to the room. We can cuss them out. We could cry. We could talk shit. We go watch a movie and let that be our evening. A person who accompanies you on a full mission is not a friend, but a fool. Now, even speaking about the gate, I'm kind of curious, how in the world did they get into the gate? Like, you go there, there's a big wall, there's a gate, and all of a sudden they're inside and she's tearing up his car and banging on his door like a crazy person. How in the world did they get into this gate? And if it's so easy for you to get into this gate, you might as well not even have a gate, bruh. You aren't stopping anybody. Now, just to keep everything 100 and above board, let's be honest about the situation. Michael is 100% using Angela for the opportunity to come here to America, and in lieu of coming to America to take advantage of his opportunities here, he's getting money off of her. He's been doing this for years, and this has been the source and foundation of their relationship. Only two things have really changed in this situation that we can see as viewers. The first thing is Michael's not taking a crap anymore. There was a time when Angela would fly into town. She could come in and yell at him and scream at him, cuss him out in public. She could cuss him out in front of his family. She could cuss out his family, cuss out his friends, tell everybody that they ain't nothing and this country is terrible, your home is horrible, and your mama ain't nothing. And Michael would stand there and take it all. She's had occasion where she's actually put her hands on Michael. She smashed cakes in his face a number of times. She's thrown stuff at him a number of times. And Michael will stand there dripping cake and apologize to her for how he made her feel after he's been the victim of literally a crime. The second thing that's changed is Angela's starting to feel herself, because she's got some plastic surgery. She's had a dramatic weight loss. I think at one point she was almost 300 pounds, and now she's down to about 160 or so. So she's had almost a life-changing amount of weight loss. She's starting to feel herself. She's starting to feel more confident. She's starting to feel more sure of herself. She's starting to feel like she's more desirable. And honestly, she's starting to feel like she doesn't have to settle for Michael anymore. Finding liberation, she found a sense of power. Power in itself doesn't corrupt. Power doesn't change you. What power reveals is who you are. To her core, the arrogant, selfish, ugly and nasty person that we see today isn't a result of Angela going out getting plastic surgery. It's just revealing who she is. Angela's always been this way, always abused Michael. She's always been nasty. She's always kind of held herself out like she's the bee's knees. And ironically, she's always played the victim when things go wrong. Now, here's where the cruelty part comes in. Angela, from the onset, knew that she was going to go out there and act a fool. She knew she was going out there to cause a breakup. How do we know this? Angela had already started talking to a guy on social media. This guy is dancing. He's a former stripper, and she talks about how good he looks and calls him, "Hey, baby," and all that stuff, and talks about how much she cares for him, and she's flirting back and forth with him and trying to pretend like it's an innocent conversation, when anybody who watches the conversation can clearly see that this is no innocent conversation. There was reports at some point that she had affairs with her doctor, the black guy who had did the plastic surgery or breast augmentation surgery. There's all kinds of stuff with Angela. And with everything that she was doing and all the messing around and fooling around that she was doing, she comes down on Michael because he opened up an Instagram account. Well, Michael, I don't trust you because of the things you're doing. Meanwhile, she got a whole dude slide in her DMs, and she's FaceTiming a whole man. There's no way in the world she would tolerate Michael doing this same thing. Michael couldn't even sit in a bar with her and look over across the bar and see a woman standing there. "Oh, you looking at that woman's behind? You think I'm a damn fool?" She throw a drink on him and then run out. Like, it's crazy. Aside from that hypocrisy, she's angry at Michael because he has an Instagram account and she's going to go out to Africa to figure things out. Man. So she gets on a plane with her friend Renee. They fly out there, she sits there, and she starts drinking. And that is the antithesis of this whole thing. It wasn't the fact that she had asked him to take down the Instagram account and he didn't take it down. It's the fact that they were sitting in a bar or sitting in a room and they got jacked up. Then once you get jacked up, all of a sudden you got all the beer muscles and you can conquer the world. So they hop in a taxi cab and drive over to Michael's house. If you notice, one of the things that she kept talking about between her and Renee was make sure we got our marriage certificate. I got my marriage certificate so that way when the cops show up, they know that we married and I'm a Nigerian woman and I can't go to jail because I ain't trying to go to no Nigerian jail. When I was a kid, me and my family, we went on vacation. The first time we went down to the Bahamas, I was a child, and this is way back. The people at the hotel that we were staying in, they called all the Americans in who just got off the plane and just came in. They called us all into a conference room. They sat us in the conference room, and I'll never forget, I was young when this happened. They called us into the conference room, and they told us straight up, "Hey, welcome to the Bahamas. Hope you enjoy your trip. I just want to tell you, we have a police officer here from the Bahamas, and he's here. He's going to talk to you guys about certain things. And I just want to tell you, we want you to have a good time, but please understand that you are no longer in America. You do not have the same rights that you have in your country. Here, you're in a different country under a different sovereignty, which means if you get arrested, you do not have a right to an attorney. You can call whoever you want to call if they let you call, and you could cry, complain, you could beg, you could scream, you could cry. But at the end of the day, when the lights go out, your ass is still going to be here. You are subject to our laws here. And our laws are not like your laws. And that's one of the first things that you learn as a world traveler. You can't go to places and act how you act in your country and expect to get the same type of justice you get in your country. There's a lot of issues in American jurisprudence. I'll be the first to say that. But when push comes down to shove, I am going to also say there are a lot of places, more than not, there are a lot of places that you do not want to go to jail. And you're in that country, you do not want to go to certain prisons in certain countries because you will not survive. Like I said, she knew she was going down there. She knew she was drinking heavy and she was going to act a fool, which is why she brought her marriage certificate in the first place. And she kept throwing it out that I got my marriage certificate. I'm a Nigerian woman. You are not a Nigerian woman. You're an American who's married to a Nigerian man. And you need to understand and respect that culture. Now, I'm not saying that Michael is this way or it's the right thing to do, but when you go to certain places, you got to understand what position you're playing and what it means when you get there. In Nigeria, she kept talking about, and my understanding of Nigerian law, as a wife, I own all his property. I don't know what you're talking about. I've been trying to research it and I've been looking at different things, and there's nothing that I've been able to discover or find that says that as a Nigerian woman, you own all the male's property, all your husband's property, especially in a situation where in Nigeria, literally we're watching an episode in Nigeria where Usman is talking about he wants to have multiple wives. How in the world could you own everything if he's allowed to have as many wives as he wants? And every situation that we see from a Nigerian man on this show, and from anything that I've seen online or whether I've done research or whatever, has demonstrated or illustrated that as a Nigerian person, Nigeria is typically a patriarchal society, meaning that the men are on top, women are on bottom. They're subjugated to the male's rules. How in the world do you think that you're going to go over to this country, tear up this man's property, and think that you're going to walk out of there? As messed up as this is, there's a comedian named Louis C.K. He said that he was in the back of a taxi cab in New York. A woman that gave the taxi driver the finger. He said that the taxi driver looked back at him and said, in my country, I could get out of the car and beat that woman to death on the street. And he said, I drive by a week later, she'll still be on the street. Now, as cruel and crazy as that story is, and as ugly as that story is, the truth of the matter is, he's probably right. There are countries where they just don't tolerate women speaking out, having liberation. In fact, in Iran right now, there's a whole situation going on in Iran because a woman was killed because she didn't cover her hair. I mean, the idea that you're going to go over to another country and because you're an American, unless you're sitting on top of an American tank, an Abrams or something, you are not safe. That goes back to the whole idea of when people get in situations, they say two things. You don't know me and you don't know where I'm from. You must not know where I'm from. Those things don't matter. In the real world, those two concepts don't matter. It doesn't matter who you are, and it doesn't matter where you're from, unless I'm standing in your living room and all your buddies are standing there too. If you are by yourself in a different country, in a different neighborhood, or the wrong side of town, you are by yourself, and you need to act accordingly. Now, in keeping with the power motif, she got on a plane to go over there to tear up his property because she wanted to take something from him. That's the whole reason why she got on a plane to do the visit in the first place. The reason why she took the certificate was because she wanted to be able to tear up his stuff and take away his stuff and be able to leave under the auspice of I'm an American citizen and or I'm his wife, so therefore I'm a Nigerian woman and I have certain rights. I have the right to come here and take away your stuff. She was talking about going to see this man in Canada before she had considered going to see her husband, who she hadn't seen for 2 years. You're already planning a trip to go see some other guy. Why are you going to tear something up? If he got you for the stuff and you gave it to him, let him have it. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys break up and you bought him a car or you bought him this or you bought him that, first up, don't buy people things, don't give away things, and don't give gifts that you can't afford to give. If you can't give it away and once you give it to them, you're okay with them having it and doing with it whatever they want, then don't give it to them. If you do give it to them, it's theirs. You got me, you got it. You go ahead and enjoy that. I'm gone. I'm going to live my life. You live your life. Good luck to you. It's just healthier. The whole sense of control that she had throughout the relationship, and is actually part of the foundation of the relationship, is the idea that she has control and she has power over him. When you take that power away, you take away the thing that keeps him in check. The idea that you're going to bring him to America, you're going over there to break up with him, so you're not bringing him to America. The fact that you break up, the fact that you're giving him money, you're breaking up with him. You're no longer going to be giving him money. So all the advantages that you give to him that give you power over him, you're actually going over there to take away. So basically, it's like you're going to step into the yard or a pit with 5 pit bulls. You're going to take them off the leash and you're going to hang a bloody pork chop around your neck, and you're going to walk by and just slap the hell out of all of them. Good luck with that, player. It's just stupid decisions. The cruelty of it is when you go over and you try to take something from somebody who doesn't have anything. If you're so proud of being an American because you have so much advantage and you have such a great life, then go on and live your life. Sorry, but I'm about to remove my presence from your presence, and you don't have to worry about me anymore. And that in itself, if you are so great and so wonderful, will be all the punishment you need. My name is James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die.